Hey guys, it's Miss Wilson back with another math lesson this week. So today we're going to be adding and subtracting multiples of 10. Now multiples of 10 sounds kind of scary because you've probably never heard it before, but all it means is numbers that you say when you count by 10. So if we look at our hundreds chart, we can find all of the multiples of 10 right here in this column. So like I said, it's just counting by tens, which means none of our responses today are going to be anything that you find over here. All of our differences and all of our sums are going to be found in this column right here. So let's take a look at our first problem. So we have 50 plus 20. So if we start at 50 right here, we need to add two more tens because we're adding 20. So start at 50 and add two more tens. So 50, 60, 70. So the sum of 50 plus 20 is 70. All right, let's do another problem. So here we have 30 plus 60. So we're going to start at our 30 and we're going to add 6 tens because we're adding 60. So we start at 30. Here's 1 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we land right here. So 30 plus 60 equals 90. Now let's take a look at some problems that are in your packet this week. Instead of using the hundreds chart for these, we're going to use a model. So here we have 20 plus 40. So you can see that I have two tens here to equal 20. And then I have four tens here for the 40. So now you just count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 20 plus 40 equals 60. Let's move over to the next problem. We've got 30 plus 30, so I made 3 tens and another 3 tens. So count by tens with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 30 plus 30 equals 60, which is the same as 6 tens. Okay, here's another one of those problems that I really like because it doesn't tell you what numbers to use, so you get to decide your own numbers. So read the problem with me. Draw two groups of tens you can add to get a sum of 50. Write the number sentence. So it tells us right here, we're going to add and that our sum needs to be 50. So when you're picking your numbers cannot be greater than 50 because you can't add two numbers together and have it equal 50. So let's see what numbers I chose. So I picked 4 tens plus one more 10. And then I'll fill this in for you so you can see what it looks like. So we're going to do 40 plus 10 equals 50. Now when you do your packet, please don't do exactly the same example I did. Pick different numbers. Okay, now we're going to switch our brains over to subtraction and we're going to model it on our 100 chart again. So here we have 50 minus 20. So we're going to start here at the 50 and this time instead of going down, we're going to go up because we're doing subtraction. So start at your 50 and then we're going to go back 2 tens. So there's 1, 2, and your answer is right there. So 50 minus 20 equals 30. Here comes another example. So for this problem, we're going to start on 70 and we're going to go back 6 tens. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's the difference between 70 and 60 right here. So 70 minus 60 equals 10. Okay, here's a more problem straight out of your packet. So I started with 6 tens, and remember we're doing subtraction, so I took away 2 tens, and that left me with 4 tens over here. And so 60 minus 20 is 40, which is the same as 4 tens. Okay, so then the next problem is 70 minus 30. So I started with 7 tens, and then I got rid of 3 tens, and that left me with 4 tens. So 70 minus 30 equals 40, or 4 tens. That's kind of cool. Two completely different sets of numbers, but they have the same difference. Okay, here's another problem out of your book. Read it with me. Jeff has 40 pennies. He gives some to Jill. He has 10 pennies left. How many pennies does Jeff give to Jill? Now, before we start our model, let's go ahead and underline some parts of that problem because there's a lot of information in that problem. So this says that he gives some, which means we're going to be subtracting because he's giving them away. And then our question that we're answering says, how many pennies does Jeff give to Jill? So here's our problem. So we're going to start with 40 because that's how many pennies Jeff started with. We're going to subtract the 10 pennies that he has left to find out how many pennies he gave to Jill. So I'm actually going to give you a minute. Pick whatever method you want. You can count on your fingers. You can count by tens. You can draw a model real quick. I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and solve this without me. Okay, let's see if you got the same answer I got. Okay, so the difference was 40 minus 10 equals 30. All right, guys, that's it. I don't know about you, but I feel like this math lesson was pretty easy. Maybe the next one will be a little bit harder. I'll see you next week.